Hey everybody, it's Zach from Myshire Farm. How you doing? Let me get set up here. I just sat down and then we will get started. Oh dear, I got all kinds of stuff everywhere. And I'm dropping papers. Let's see here. There we are. Getting my notes out. And then we will get started. I do have a couple of quick announcements, but first, welcome everybody for being here. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. This is our YouTube Live we do every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have any questions about Coturnix quail, feel free to ask now, and we will get to them as quickly as I possibly can. I'm going to raise my seat up. Just there we go. That's better. So that is why we're doing our YouTube Live, is to help everybody be more successful with raising their quail, get their questions answered. And we do a couple fun things here every Sunday, and that is, if you want to let us know where you're from, it's always interesting to see where all the quail people are at in the world. That's very interesting. Also, if you've hatched eggs from us in the past week and have not told us the hatch rate yet, feel free to do so on here. And we will write that down for our records. We're currently sitting at a 73.2% hatch rate. We had quite a bit of big orders that hatched this week, which brought our numbers up, which is very nice. Oops, there we go. And we did do one long video this week, so hopefully you caught it. It was resources for quail knowledge. If you didn't, it is on our YouTube channel. You'll definitely want to check that out to find more other ways to learn about raising Coturnix quail and different methods and things like that. And then we did just a couple shorts, which are a lot of fun, so you can check those out, see what goes into our live quail packages and the boxes going out and things like that. But George was off for the week, so I was by myself for the week, and so it's been a long week. So I did not get to as many videos as I wanted to, but we did at least post a couple different times. So I'm trying to stay up on that. And then the 18 and under contest is actually changing. I talked to Dale and David this week, Wynola Ranch and Dale's Quails, and they're going to be sending me a different product that we're going to be using. It's going to be a different brooder and a different cage. So when I get those in this week, I'll do a video on that. But I did not want to do the video without the new products here. So that'll be coming, but that's why that one is delayed. Other than that, I really don't have that many announcements going on. But we are planning QuailCon. I did reach out to a lot of people. We are really hoping that that is set up for this week to go on the website. So not all the details have been planned, but speakers and workshops and topics, dates and times and prices, that's all been worked out. So QuailCon will be coming very shortly. And believe me, I'll be doing some videos on it. But that is pretty much all my announcements. Again, if you want to let us know where you're from, feel free to do so. We'd love to know where you are. Second, if you've hatched any eggs from us in the past week and not told us the hatch rate, feel free to do so. We're currently sitting at a 73.2% hatch rate on shipped eggs for the year. We are shipping to all of US and Canada minus Hawaii, which I know isn't, I said it weird, but we're shipping all in the US minus Hawaii, and then we're shipping all over Canada. So make sure you check that out on the website, and we try to support each other here on the in the community. So if you can, let's be kind and helpful in the comments, and hit the like button, support the channel. We're gonna go for 120 likes tonight. So that's what we've done the past 2 weeks, and so we're gonna try to match that tonight. So if you can, support the channel by just hitting the like button. And obviously ask your questions in the comments, and I am getting to them right now. But that's about it. So I'm going to take a drink and then we will get started. Hopefully everybody had a great week. I did have a good week. It was very productive, but it was very long. I've worked on average about 14 to 14 and a half hours a day every day this week. But I did get a lot of stuff done. I'm just a little tired. All right, so let's start. Buck is in the house. Buck Reynolds wants to tell everyone hello. I'm in Oklahoma. What is the biggest quail do you have after they are processed? Jumbo Wilds by far. Jumbo Wilds, and then Jumbo White Wings, and then the Jumbo Egyptians. But they're all pretty close together. So, but yeah, for sure. Good question and welcome. We're glad you're here. Glenn Wells is in the house. Says howdy from Southeast Missouri. Just finished 9 cages today. That makes 30. Started with 1 breeder set. The addiction is real. People check out Quail U and hit the like button. Absolutely. Welcome. We're glad you're here and congratulations on growing. And yeah, if you don't know what Quail U is a Quail University. I did a video about it this past week in the resources for Quail Knowledge. It gives you all the information, but it's a course you can take that is Quail 101 in its best. It's 8 hours of product or 8 hours of content that you can watch at any point in time. We brought it out almost a year ago now, and we've had every single student take it and give us 100% 5-star review. So we're very, very proud of that. It's hard to make everybody happy. But so far we have. I'm sure eventually we'll find one person that is going to hate. But until then, 100% 5-star review, so I'll take it. But it's yours to keep once you get it, and I definitely recommend you checking it out. Joy is in the house from Western Oregon. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Aaron Gutros is in the house. Good evening, everyone. Hey, Zach. I'm watching from South Louisiana. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Vay's Place is obviously in the house. I'm sure Ed Got Bait is in here somewhere as well. They're my moderators on here. They're in the blue on the YouTube channel. Are in the comments, and they are the moderators on here. Try to help people out before I get to them and keep everything in line. So thank you very much. Fran Crow is in the house. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I know that you tried to call earlier today. Without George, it's been a long week. I've been doing a lot of stuff, but I did message you back right before we went live. Alexander Hughes in the house from Iowa. Welcome. I'll be in Iowa the end of June, beginning of July for Murray Midwest Fest, I think is what it's called. If you look up murraymidwestfest.com, it's a convention that they're having, a homesteaders convention, and I'll be speaking there, so I am going to be very excited to go to Iowa this year. Joy says, I candle my eggs for cracks before they go into the incubator. Why do they candle different colors? Is one color fertile more than the other two? They candle green, yellow, and orange. Nope. Especially if you're candling before you even put them in. No, fertility won't. The color doesn't mean fertility at all. Did I say that right? I did say that right. S.O. Swanson's in the house from Mississippi Delta. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Carrie Knapp is in the house from Canada. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Carrie and Darren have been helping us in Canada, so I appreciate them a lot. Mojo23 is in the house from northern Wisconsin. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Erica Willis is in the house from western Arkansas. Welcome. So and Tara is in the house. Says hello everyone from Gilroy, California. Who else has quail eggs in the incubator? I hope everyone is doing well. 2 counties next to us had tornado warnings yesterday in California. I don't remember what day it was because it's all a blur this week. But there was one day that I woke up at about 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe 4. I don't remember. It was the most bizarre lightning I'd ever seen in my entire life. Like it was like. It was weird. It took forever. Like it was in the sky forever. There was never any thunder, and it was weird, but kind of cool. David Cobb's in the house. Says good evening, everybody from North Carolina. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Mojo23 says just signed up this week for Quail University. Awesome. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy it and let us know how it goes. Dragon Girl's in the house. Says hi everyone, checking in from Western Washington State. Welcome. Glad you're here. I've never been to Washington State before, actually. Eric France is in the house from Eastern Washington. Welcome. Glad you're here. Laura Wallace is in the house from Montana. Welcome. Earl Lee from Georgia. We're all over the place tonight, everybody. That's pretty cool. Alexander Hughes says, how many different colors are there, from Iowa? Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. And it really depends. If you break them down like heterozygous and homozygous and all that crap, there's a lot. There's a lot. But I think we've got, I don't know, like 22 or 24 colors on the website right now. Yeah, there can be a lot. Aaron Dudley's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Feather Connections Homestead says, hey, Zach and Quail family. Can't wait to see you all at QuailCon 2024. I'll be the one. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. I'll be the one emceeing. Can't wait to bring the party. There you go. Diana Tuttle from Tut Farms is in the house from Kansas. Welcome. Mojo23 says, what is your take on building an incubator versus buying one? I don't recommend people building incubators. It doesn't work out great for a majority of people that do it. Now some people do it and do awesome, but they are in a minority. They're definitely not the majority. I think, in my opinion, I think that it's good to get your foundation under you. I think it's good to learn the basics before you start doing stuff like that. So in my opinion, for people that are starting out or have been raising them for less than a year, I think you just need to learn the basics and get into that. And then if you want to try incubators, you kind of know what you're looking for. You know what your average hatch rate's been for a long time. And you can go from there. So I don't really recommend it, but, to each its own. There's not really a wrong way or a right way. Linda Easton Waller's in the house from Sacramento. Happy to be hanging out with the most awesome AG community in the country tonight. Looking forward to seeing all of you at QuailCon. Absolutely. We'll be putting that. The goal is to put the QuailCon tickets on sale this week on the website. But we got a lot of stuff going on. So it is in the works. So it'll be up shortly. But I'm hoping that we can get that on the website fairly quickly. Zaria04 is in the house from Virginia. Welcome. We're glad you're here. S.O. Swanson says, you said QuailCon. QuailCon 181 days. Yep. Yeah. We got a lot of stuff hashed out this week. So we got to finish up the ins and outs. But yeah, it's coming along pretty well. We are going to have a lot of new speakers this year, which is pretty cool. We're completely changing up the format. We're changing the name. There's a lot of changes, but there's also a lot of similarities too. So as soon as it's on the website and people can purchase, I will be doing videos on it and explaining it all, and I'll talk about it on here, but I want to get it on the website first. David Cobb says, can you put a younger covey into a cage with an older one? I guess it really depends on what age difference you're talking about. I don't recommend putting younger quail with older quail until they're at least 8 weeks old, minimum. So it really depends. If you're talking that they're, some are 6 months old and you're trying to put 10 weeks old in with them, not a problem at all. But if they're 3 weeks old and the other ones are 10 weeks old, or they're 6 weeks old and older breeders, then I would wait. So putting younger quail in with your older breeders, I recommend that the younger quail are at least 8 weeks old when you do it. Mojo says only 9 likes. We're up to 50. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. If you haven't already, hit the like button, support the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Billy says, what is Canada quail? We are shipping in Canada all year this year. So Myshire Farm went international. You can kind of see the flag. Oh, I guess you can't. We have a flag that we bought at the border that's half Canada and half American flag. Tim W's in the house from Orlando. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Mersad is in the house from Chicago. Welcome. Glad you're here. So when Tara says Quail University is awesome, yes, it is. You should definitely check it out. And if you haven't watch the video I did this week on resources for quail knowledge. I highly recommend you check that out. It does talk about Quail University and a lot of really cool stuff about it, but it also goes into a lot of different resources. You can get a lot of information in. Deanna Dalton is in the house from Central New York. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Buster's in the house. Welcome. Jesse Mills is in the house. Ryan's in the house from Canada. Welcome, everybody. Ryan says, what percentage of the quail diet can be black fly larvae? Can the quail eat them at the pupa stage? Do I need to change the feed given if they are giving larvae? Yeah, if you're adding supplements to the feed, then yeah, you have to change the entire dynamic of the feed. And I don't do that. I don't do that. So I don't know how much you can give them or should give them or what's recommended. We customize our layer feed here. The starter feed, we just use a pheasant starter feed and works amazing for us. And then when we went to Canada, the feed that they're feeding is absolutely amazing. And there's absolutely no reason why they need to be supplementing feed and things like that, because they were doing great, absolutely great. Davis Family 5 says, I only had 18 good eggs out of 30 hatched. It's not too terrible. That would be one step. So if you're trying to figure out how you can get a better hatch, you really need to look at the eggs that didn't hatch. So were they fully developed? If they were, that's a humidity issue. If they were partially developed, that's usually either a spike in temperature or a temperature issue altogether. So there's a lot of figuring out still, rather than just that. Zario4 says, do you have any suggestions for a protein sub? Black soldier flies would be a great one. Mealworms, also another good one. My local Tractor Supply where I get my feed is closed permanently, so I'm now having to make my own feed till I can find somewhere else to shop. I know that they have some pretty good feeds on Chewy, which can just be delivered to your house. And I think it's only like $1.50 more a bag or something like that, but it comes delivered to you. No one's talking to me. Kingdom Living Homesteads in the house from Canada. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Davis Family 5 is in the house. Welcome. Pettimal Farms in the house from Southern Middle Tennessee. Says like number 45. We're up to 55. So thank you everybody for supporting the channel and hitting the like button. I appreciate it. Buck says, the reason I sell rabbits to some restaurants, I have some of them talk into trying some quail. Very cool. Well, good luck. I wish you the best. Zaria says, for your Quail University, are the videos captioned, subtitled? They are captioned. Yes. Linda put in a lot of time, energy, and effort going through each one of those videos, 8 hours long, and captioning all that. Gary's in the house from Ohio. Welcome, neighbor. Glad you're here. Short Pickens Quail is in the house from Missouri. Welcome. Glad you're here, guys. AJG is in the house. Has anyone tried the Matic Coops Incubator? Just ordered one. They seem to be hard to come by. They sell out before they even get back in stock on Amazon. I've never heard of that one. Sorry. I do not know much about it. Fran Crow's in the house. Picked up an egg peeler from Marketplace, and it works great. Awesome. Congratulations. Vernon Ealer is in the house. I am incubating eggs from a mixed group of quail colors. When they are adults, can I sort them according to color with the same color hen and rooster? Will I hatch the same color bird that they came from? You can do that, and for the most part, they will, if you put color to color together, they will hatch out the same color, but because it's coming from a mixed covey, you will have prior generations that weren't the same color, so you'll get some oddballs too. But the majority of them will hatch out what you put together. And good luck. Wish you the best. Tim W says, if I'm switching from aviary style to separate hutch style separated by breed, how long should I wait before I can start collecting eggs with confidence that they will be fertilized by their own? It's a good question. So in that circumstance, so I always recommend a week once you put males and hens together, but because they're being fertilized with other colors right now, in your specific situation, I would say 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half, but to be safe, I would say 2 weeks. Once you put the specific colors together. Good question. Alexander says, I know you mentioned something earlier about the 18 and under contest. Is the winner still being announced tonight? No, I've already contacted the winner. I've emailed them right before I went live, actually. And they will be getting what we announced last year, but we are switching things up, and the brooder in the cage have not came in yet for me to do a video on for the new one, so they're going to send last year's models, but they'll be getting all of that shortly. Ryan says, if giving the quail 10% black soldier fly larva, how much can I give the quail in sprouts? Nope, don't know. I don't. I feed them feed. Like, I feed them feed, and that's... I don't have time for all that. So I've never experienced or experimented with all that, unfortunately. Sorry. Kingdom Living Homestead says, we're 8 weeks into our quail adventure. Congratulations. And I've made all my enclosures out of China cabinets, working great so far. Very cool. Congratulations. Very thrifty, and I wish you all the best. Glenn Wells has been thinking it might be time to check into Npip, but just can't convince myself would it benefit me to do. So where to start the process? I always recommend, I mean, it's a great resource, and it's not very expensive. It's like $50 a year. And they come out and test your birds, and not only that, but they give you so much information and resources, and yeah, I think a lot of people should. Now, if you're just raising a few in the backyard, you know, probably not, but yeah, if you've got over 100, then yeah, I think you should be in PIP. I think it's a great resource and can't hurt. Fat Country's in the house from Florida. Hope all is well and congratulations. Thank you very much. And thanks for being here. Mojo says, we have a Nurture 360, but it doesn't hold enough to start fresh. We have been raising quail for 3+ years. Was looking to build an incubator like the Turnings Corner showed how to build. Yeah, I mean, if you want to try it, you can. If it was me, I'd buy a GQF. If it was me. And then you could always go off of what the GQF looks like and make your own. Yeah, I prefer store-bought incubators. They've been doing it for a long time, and they've got their method down, and there's a reason why they're there. All the incubators we've built that are do-it-yourself were fine, and they did fine for a while, but they're not long-lasting at all. There's just too many moving parts and too many things. Holly says, what causes bent toes in quail chicks if it's not the incubator flooring? That would be a humidity issue. The bent toes, like the curled toes, would be because they stayed in the egg too long. So if you increase your humidity just a little bit at lockdown, that should prevent that from happening. So they were just in the egg a little bit longer than what they should have been. AJ says, Amazon is saying my incubator will arrive between the 25th and 13th. I'm hoping you'll still have jumbo wild eggs available by then. We will. So far, we're doing pretty well with that. Everything is about 5 to 10 days out, except for our celadons. I just changed that Friday to 10 to 20 days out. And then I just changed the jumbo wilds to 10 to 20 days out. But I've got four cages I need to go through and weigh this week that we'll be adding on, so that those jumbos will probably go back down to 5 to 10 days out. And then the celadons, I've got about 350 I need to go through that are starting to lay. So once I go through those, we'll probably go down on those as well as far as time frame goes. But so far we're doing pretty well. At this point, last year we were on an 8 to 10 week wait on jumbo wilds, and this year at this time we're 10 to 20 days out once you order. So world of difference. We were much more prepared, so I'm very happy about that. Laura says my rare colors quail I got from Myshire are now 3 weeks old and growing like crazy. Awesome, good luck, and I wish you all the best. Cook with Christ is in the house, says hello, welcome, we're glad you're here. Lindsay Wolf says hi, do you ship silver eggs to Australia? Not at this time. We are working with the USDA, and they did say that we can ship anywhere in the US except 3 different places. Australia was not one of them. So I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks we finalize that USDA deal, and the plan is that they're going to come out once a quarter, and we're going to do all of our exporting all at that time. So they bring the paperwork for, the UK or Australia or here or there, and they just fill out all the paperwork at the same time, and we ship them all at the same time. And we do that once a quarter, but that's not been fully confirmed yet, but it's looking promising. And looking back, I probably should have tried to combine that, because they were out here and they've been out here, and we worked pretty close with them with our Canada export, but I just wanted that to get up and going. So now it's just taking longer because we're pretty much restarting the process. But I'm glad that we did the Canada thing for sure. Trenton says, what's your favorite part of your exclusive Cosmos? I like the pattern of it. I mean, it's a gorgeous, I don't even know what color that is. Like, it's a creamy red, off-white. I mean, those are 2 different colors. But the pattern on it is just, it's really Jackson Pollock-esque. It's a pretty cool color. I lost there we go. Kingdom Living Homestead says, is opening the incubator during lockdown really bad? We are incubating 12 eggs every 4 to 5 days, as we have only 3 laying quail. Last hatch, 8 of 10 died in lockdown. Then yes, that would be a huge problem. Either your humidity is not high enough, or you're opening it too much and it's fluctuating too much and they're shrink wrapped in the eggs. Now, if you've got, what do you say? 12 eggs, you've got 3, 6, 9, 12. That's 4. I wouldn't do that. I would do a weekly hatch is what I would do. So every week, I would just collect your eggs from your 3 laying quail from Monday to Sunday, and then put them in the incubator Monday morning, and then just do that every week. With every 4 to 5 days and the 12 eggs, it looks like you're collecting every 4 or 5 days and putting them in. I would go longer than that. I think you'll get a better result that way. But it's either a lower humidity at lockdown, which you can fix by increasing the humidity, or you're opening it up too much and it's fluctuating too much and shrink wrapping the eggs. Hig Homestead's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. No one's talking to me. Trent says, I'm currently watching my pearls from Myshire Farm hatch with Zach in the background. There you go. Good luck. I wish you all the best. And I think we just shipped you some this week, too. I think I just shipped you some Cosmos, actually. Hey, Homestead says that Lowe's stimulating the economy again. There you go. I do that quite often as well, unfortunately. Tony in Toronto's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Holly says, do you have any experience with the Brincia Maxi 24 Advance or other Brincia incubators? Yeah, I actually, we donated ours at QuailCon to someone that won, but On our YouTube channel, there's a playlist called Quail Product Reviews, I do believe. And we did a Brincia incubator review last year, which was the first time I tried it. But I loved it. I thought it was absolutely amazing. It was really cool. So yeah, I like them a lot. Joe Sandy 1822 says, hi all, just stopping in quick to give a quick thumbs up. Zach, I ordered 30 feather sexable mixed eggs yesterday. I'm so excited. Awesome. Good luck. And you'll be going out this week. So congratulations, and obviously keep me posted on the hatch. Anime Gamers in the house says hello. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Kingdom Living Homestead says humidity is 65 to 75%. I recommend you keeping it at 75%. I think 65% is a little too low, especially if they're dying in the egg. So that would be a clear sign that 65 is a little too low. So I would try to keep that at 75% as best you can. Don Skins in the house from South Mississippi. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Dr. Connie says hi from Florida. Question, did you do a Cosmos video? I couldn't find one. I did not. We brought it out last year and then things got crazy. That is on my list fairly shortly. I was actually going to start them next week, but I'm fairly caught up in the barn. In fact, I should have, I don't want to say a free day, but I should have, Thursday should be my day where I can post quite a bit of videos or get them loaded and do the videos that day. But I don't, there's about 5 or 6 videos that I really wanted to do before I start doing the colored videos again. So it is coming, but there's a couple videos that I really wanted to get done first. Kingdom Living Homestead says, I'll switch that immediately, 1 week per hatch. I think that will help you as well, for sure. I think that'll help your results. John F. is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Sunshine Silver Rabbitry's in the house. In your bigger livestock, do you have a particular brand of clippers that you like? We'll use them for goats. Just unsure of the brands available. No, I don't know. I bought mine at Tractor Supply. I don't even know what the brand is. Like, it was there, and I think there was 2 different ones there, and I picked the cheaper one, and it works fine. Works fine. So yeah, I don't know, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. I don't think. I mean, obviously, the more you spend, the nicer it'll be. But we got the cheap ones at Tractor Supply, and it worked just fine. 75% awesome. What humidity is too high? So you really don't want to go above 85%, and you really want to be at 75 is really what you want. So if you're between 70 and 80, it's not the end of the world. When you get past 80, you want to get that down a little bit. Once you go below 70, you want to get that up. So you really want to stay in the 70 range, 70 to 80%. Adam Van Camp's in the house from Southern Colorado. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Anime Gamers in the house. I can't wait to see the calico hen. Yeah, I gotta find it. It's in the cage. I just... Backyard Quail Keeper says, hey y'all, got a new pen set up ready for the year's new batches. Pansy Fee, hopefully. Well, good luck. I wish you all the best. And love the Pansy Fees. They're very pretty. Infinity Mid's in the house. Infinity Mid is in the house. Just placed my order. I was wondering if you breed a 2nd generation sex link to another 2nd generation. Do all the babies also stay sex link, or do we have to continue breeding from the original breeds? No, as long as it's an Egyptian male and a wild hen, you're good to go. It doesn't matter if it's... Now, when you hatch out your sex links, then they're opposite of what you need them to be. So you need Egyptian males and wild hens. They hatch out wild males and Egyptian hens. So then you would take those, put those together. They're going to give you half wild hens and males and half Egyptian hens and males. And you take the Egyptian males and the wild hens, put them in a separate cage, and you got sex links all over again. So that's how it works, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many generations you're in. Eggs Files in the house. I would like to send you a drown-proof water to review. Sure. We use automatic waters here. I really haven't used waters in quite some time. All of our cages are troughs that hang on the back, which I love. Like, I'll never go away from that. It's the best thing in the history of everything. Change the ball game. It's absolutely phenomenal. And then in the brooders, we use the little red cups with a cage over it. And man, that saves so much time than having to do the waters every day. I absolutely love it. New nose in the house, welcome. We're glad you're here. We use them for our bob whites. There you go. Yeah. I don't know much about bob whites. I know they're a lot more wild and not as dumb, to be honest with you. The Caturnics, not as smart. John F. says, Zach, what do you think about the red birds they are breeding? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Red birds would be rue birds, so it could be scarlets or ranges or Egyptians or Egyptian fees or something with the rue gene in it. I mean, Cosmos has the rue gene in it, but I need you to elaborate a little bit more. Terry Lee says, how long can the eggs be okay in shipping if it's cold weather, and how long does the heat last in shipping? How long does the heat last in shipping? I don't know what that last part means. How long does the heat last in shipping? But as long as they're packaged well and shipped correctly in foamers and good foamers, then they're fine for, I mean, again, it depends on who you order from and what days they ship out, but we ship out the same day they're laid. So we ship out we ship out 6 days a week. And so if they're in the mail for 2 days, great. If they're in the mail for 4 days, it doesn't affect the hatch rate at all. The hatch rate or the fertility rate really doesn't change until after day 7. So, you know, I've seen some places where it's like, you know, we only ship out on Mondays, or we only ship out on Mondays. Well, if they're collecting for the whole week to get the orders out on Monday, then some of them are already 7 days old. You know what I mean? So that's a question that I would ask is, you know, how old are the eggs when they ship out? But as far as that goes, it's not a big deal. And the cold, I mean, like I said, we're sitting at a 73.2% hatch rate on shipped eggs for the year. And we've had some pretty cold snaps, you know what I mean, for the year. So as far as the heat or the cold or anything like that, it really shouldn't affect your eggs at all. Now, every once in a while, the post office will destroy a box or mistreat it. That happens, not a lot, but it does happen. But as far as the weather goes, it really shouldn't affect your viability of the eggs, as long as they're packaged correctly. Mojo23 says, what variety would you pick if starting fresh? Jumbo Wild, looking for both meat and egg potentially to sell. Well, that's a good question, but it also goes back to why you're wanting to do it. What's the purpose of you raising the quail? So if you're looking in for meat and eggs to sell, then I would recommend the Jumbo Egyptians. Because they're going to be big enough quail to butcher and be happy with their weight, and they're also going to give you the most eggs per year jumbo size. So, I mean, as far as selling potential, that would be your most profitable and best bet to go. If you're raising just for you and your family and you just want the largest meat and largest eggs, then, you know, Jumbo Wilds or Jumbo White Wings would do great. But I also don't, if you're wanting to sell, which brings me to another point. So let me back up for just a second. So starting in April, anyone that has already signed up or is going to anyone that has signed up at any point in time for Quail University or Quail 101 are going to be invited into a webinar on a weekly basis. And every month is going to be a different topic. The first month is going to be Quail for Profit. And it's going to be a webinar. It's going to kind of be like a live, but it's going to be Zoom, so we'll all be able to see and hear each other where you don't have to type. You can just ask your questions. We're going to do a short little presentation, and then we're just going to get into the nitty-gritty and go as quickly as we can to answer as many questions as possible. So if you're really interested in Quail for Profit, then I highly recommend you signing up for Quail University, because that webinar is only available to the students of Quail University, and it is free if you already have the course. With that being said, again, it depends on why you're wanting to raise quail. But if you are trying to raise quail for profit and you're going to try to sell the eggs or the live birds or whatever, or the chicks, whatever the case may be, there is absolutely no reason why not to go with a jumbo mix. Now, personally, I think that if you're going to try to sell eating eggs or hatching eggs or chicks once they hatch or whatever the case may be, I personally think that you should do mixes. If you're doing live birds, whether it's older adults or you're doing chicks or whatever, people love the different colors. And then eating eggs, there's absolutely no reason. So standard size quail eat less than the jumbos. I mean, that just makes sense, right? And so they cost less to raise and cost less per egg than a jumbo does on a daily basis. So you're not going to get more money by selling jumbo eggs if you're only offering jumbo eggs, right? So I think a lot of people make that mistake, and I'll go more in depth about this on our webinar, but here's a big tip for a lot of people that are trying to sell some stuff. So a lot of people think, oh, well, I just need the largest. If there's no comparison, it doesn't matter, right? So if you want to do a standard size and a jumbo size and charge two different prices, that makes sense. Not disagreeing with you at all. But if you only have one type, so if you're only selling jumbo eggs as eating eggs, and you're saying, well, these are jumbo eggs, but they have nothing to compare it to because you don't have any standards, you can't make more money off of those, right? And it's less money to raise the standards than it is the jumbos. And you're going to get more eggs per year in the standards than you will the jumbos. So the jumbos, you get less eggs per year and it costs more per egg. So if you're only going to have one kind, I can't comprehend the logic of not using standards for eating eggs. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Now, to each its own, I'm not judging. There is many different ways to raise quail. There's not one right way. So I'm not saying that my way is the only way. I'm not saying that. It's just, if you're trying to make a profit, then you have to look at expenses and you have to see, what can I make the most of? And you can make the most money off of standard eggs on a daily basis than you can the jumbo eggs. Now, if you're selling meat, yeah, you want to go with the jumbo size because the standards are fine, but you're going to have to put probably 4 more in a package to fill that up, where you would have a lot less in the jumbo. So that makes sense. So again, it really goes back to why you're wanting to raise them. And again, I'm going back to the Quail for Profit for just 1 second, because you said potentially to sell. If you're selling eating eggs, I would recommend standard size. And I told you why. They're less money per egg and they lay more eggs per year. So it's a no-brainer to me. If you're going to be selling meat, then a jumbo will do, and it doesn't really matter what jumbo because you're butchering them. So it doesn't really matter. Preferably a feather sexable one, because you can separate them at 3 weeks old. If you're going to be selling chicks, colors, mixed colors, feather sexable colors, rare colors, doesn't even matter. But I'm telling you, when you're getting new people involved with raising quail and they come and they pick out their chicks, I guarantee you they do not pick out all the same color. They are going to grab this one and that one and that one and that one, and they buy 10 of them, and 10 are completely different colors. You do not have hardly anyone that wants 2 of the same color. Hardly ever. Especially if they're just starting with quail. Now, if you're selling, breeders, so they're 3-week-olds or older, and you can feather sex them, then, you know, probably the jumbo mix would be great because they're going to get some jumbo wilds, which are the large eggs and the large meat. They're going to get the jumbo Egyptians, which are a little bit smaller but still jumbo size, but more egg production. And then they'll get some white wings, which will be, you know, again, largest egg there is and about the same size meat as the jumbo wild. Again, a little bit different, cooler color, so they have a variety, and they're all jumbos. You can put them all together, and the weight won't fluctuate because they'll all boost themselves up. So hopefully that makes sense. I didn't mean to go on that rant for no reason. But hopefully that makes sense as far as the potential to sell. But again, there's a lot of different ways to do it. So if you've got your own plan and you're doing your own thing, I'm not trying to tear you down or persuade you a different way. You do you. But if you're just starting out and you haven't done all that yet and you're just beginning, then I would highly recommend you check that out. Eggs File says it's an automatic with float valve. Very cool. I'd love to see it. Bruce says, when calling, how long do you recommend cutting feed for? Is 24 hours sufficient? I don't at all. So they eat until they're not eating anymore, ever. So yeah, I don't stop feeding them at all. They're not like chickens. So with chickens, we don't let them eat for 24 hours because it can get real messy. Quail are not the same way. So yeah, we just let them eat until we pull them out of the cage. Good question, and that makes perfect sense if you're familiar with chickens, but not the same as chickens. Very good question though. Terry Lee says, I live in Canada. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. And we ship to Canada now, and I'm very excited about that. I can't wait to plan the next trip to Canada, and I was happy I went the last time. Holly says, is it possible to create a sex-linked color that breeds true? If it's a sex-linked color, they all breed 100% true. So yes is the answer. Yeah. If you have Egyptian males and wild hens, then they'll 100% always be sex links. Always, always, always. Now, if you're asking if you can create a sex-linked color that only breeds one color, then no, because then they wouldn't be sex-linked. Because you wouldn't know which one's hens and which one's males. So they would just be straight runs. So maybe I'm misunderstanding the question. So if I haven't answered it, if you can ask in a different way, try that, and I will try to answer differently. Holly says, are there jumbo celadon quail? I think you can get there. I would be very weary of anybody saying that they have that now on a consistent basis. You can definitely get there. I think it's going to take, well, it depends on how many quail you have as well. For us, we've got, I don't know, we've got about 225 now, but we also have the 350 grow outs. It's probably still going to take us 2 years, probably, year and a half at least, to get them to breed true jumbo size. It takes a while. Now, if you have a small covey, which there's nothing wrong with, but let's say you have 30 of them, it would probably take you, well, it would definitely take you a whole lot longer to get there. But it can be done. I think it's going to take some time to do. Laura Wallace says, I know when my eggs came from Myshire, I was worried because we were -40 below. No problem with the eggs. 22 out of 32 hatched. I highly recommend buying hatching eggs from Myshire Farm. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And yeah, again, I mean, if you're worried about the weather, we're here no matter when. So if you want to wait until, spring or summer or fall, we'll be here. We're not going anywhere. If you're worried about the weather when you're purchasing eggs on the website, then you can look on like the Weather Channel app or the Weather Channel, I guess. I don't have the Weather Channel, so I have to look at it on my phone anyways, and see, you know, oh, well, this week is a lot colder, but next week warms up. So you would just type into the notes at checkout, hey, please ship next week. Unless it's like Celadons or Jumbo Wilds, which is 10 to 20 days out to ship, because I couldn't ship that soon. So just keep that in mind as well. Someone Terry says, do we know day of the week and time yet for the webinars? We have not confirmed that, but we're pretty confident that it's going to be on Wednesdays, and I'm going to really push hard for 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But I think I might get outvoted on that, and it's probably going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm not too sure yet, but pretty confident on the Wednesday thing. I'm pretty sure Wednesday is going to be the day. Wayne Haddock says, newbie here, just put my 48 eggs in incubator 2 days ago. I hear a lot of talk about color. All I want is eggs and meat. What does color have to do with it? Absolutely nothing. Don't worry about it at all. You'll get, you know, I mean, I don't know what you put in, but good luck on your hatch. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask, but nope, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. The colors is really just the feathers, and the feathers don't matter because the feathers don't lay eggs and the feathers don't make weight. I mean, they add some weight, but when you butcher, you take the feathers off. So anywho, yeah, feathers don't matter at all. Don't worry about it. John F. says, I was listening to the other quail guy. He had a guy on who was specifically breeding wilds to bring out red-orange color. That's called Egyptians. That's Egyptians. A red-orange wild is an Egyptian because it's... That's upsetting to me. A red/orange wild is an Egyptian because an Egyptian is a wild with the roux gene, and the roux gene is really the redhead gene of the quail world, of a lot of different worlds, but the roux is red. So if you add the roux gene or the red gene to the wilds, you'll get an Egyptian, which is like a reddish orangish color that looks like a wild type. So the feather pattern is a wild, but the color is a reddish orange because it has the roux gene. So we've had Egyptians for many, many moons. God, we've had Egyptians for probably 7 years. No, we have to have them longer than that because Jenna did the Egyptians before I even quit my job. So we probably had Egyptians for 9 years. Holy mother of God. Time flies when you're having fun. PJ's Family Farms in the house. Good evening, all you beautiful quail people here from New York. Welcome, glad you're here. Catskills, I believe. Let's see. PJ's Family Farm says, hey y'all, hit the like button. Absolutely support the channel. Let's try to get to at least 100 likes tonight. If you can, support the channel by doing so. I greatly appreciate it. Mojo says we're looking at Jumbo Wilds and Celadons. We have both of those on the website. Right now we're at about 10 to 20 days out on those. Everything else is 5 to 10 days out. They're more like 3 to 5, but it says 5 to 10 on the website, so I don't stress out. Holly says, is raising standard with jumbos a good idea, and can you tell them and their eggs apart? Well, the egg size really doesn't have anything to do with the jumbo size. A jumbo is the weight of the quail, not egg size. And so when you hatch out a bunch of eggs, or when you gather a bunch of eggs from jumbo quail that are jumbo size and meat, then you're going to have all kinds of different egg sizes because egg size does not determine the weight of the quail. I hope I said that correctly. Also, your other question is raising standard with jumbo is a good idea. It doesn't really matter. Now, there are some things that you probably need to know. So it's much harder to increase size of a jumbo than it is to lose the weight of a jumbo. What I mean by that is if you want to create a jumbo, like I hear all the time, people want to do jumbo golds, jumbo Italians. I have no faith in anyone doing that, because after 3 generations, the golds don't make weight. Like they lose the weight. So you can get them to 10, 12 ounces pretty quick, probably within 2 generations. But 3 generations from there, they're back down to 8, 9 ounces. Like they don't keep the weight on. I've tried to tell a lot of people that, and they've all told me to stick it, and I go, okay. And then like a year later, they're like, hey, by the way, it doesn't work. And I'm like, thank you for telling me. I appreciate that. So the reason I said all that is if you put your jumbos and your standards together, it's not a big deal. They'll all get along. You'll still get a lot of egg production, but you will start losing the weight of those jumbos, because if you've got standards and jumbos together, it's much easier for the standards to take the weight away than it is for the jumbos to add weight to the standards, if that makes sense. Now, if you put jumbo males with standards, then you'll start gaining the weight. But if it's just a mix mash of standards and jumbos, eventually they'll all be standard size. Now, I don't know if that's a big deal, but that would be one thing to look at. But as far as them getting along or egg production or anything like that, be completely fine. So the goal tonight was 120 likes. We're up to exactly 100. So I just want to say thank you to all of you that have hit the like button, support the channel. I really appreciate it. If any of you have not hit it yet, please do so. Let's try to hit the 120 before we're off. But I still have a lot of questions. And there's been a lot of questions and comments tonight. So I thank everybody. Yeah, I said that right. I thank everybody for all the questions and comments tonight. It's really been a good night of that. So thank you very much for asking. Kingdom Living Homestead says, plan a trip to BC. It's beautiful here. We went in, when we went in, we went through Michigan into Ontario, and then we pretty much hit a lot of Ontario, like all of Ontario. It was a lot. And then a little bit of Ottawa, and then when we came home, we went through New York, and it just freaks me out because the weather wasn't great. We were going through a snowstorm, and I was like, you know what? Not that I want to wreck the car, but if I do wreck the car, I'd rather it be in the States. So we just took, it's about the same distance, but 8 hours is either in Canada or 8 hours is either in the States. And so I was like, let's but summer or spring, I'd love to drive more through Canada. It's very pretty. Tim W says, is it possible to breed Rosettas to jumbo size? We've tried it twice, and they have the same problems with the golds as the golds do. Is you can get them to, I think we got them to about 11.5 ounces. They did great. They still laid really well. The second generation, the second generation did fine. I think we got them to like 11, so we were a little concerned there. We were like, well, how did we lose a half ounce on average? And then the third generation, they went back down to like 9.5 ounces. And that happened, same thing happened twice. So them just keeping the weight on is definitely the issue that you'd have to overcome. And I realized a long time ago, which again, there's not one way to raise quail. There's many different ways. You do your own thing. But I did realize that there's a benefit of different things. So I really like the Rosettas, the Golds, the Scarlets, the BTAs, and the Graufies. I love those because they are massively productive quail. I mean, they will pop eggs out so much, like almost an egg a day for the entire year. I like 325, 335 eggs a year. Like, it's fantastic. I think that's very valuable. So if any time that you increase size, you lose egg productivity. So just keep that in mind. That Rosettas are an amazing breed because they lay so many eggs per year. When you start messing with their size and get them up to size or a higher size, you're going to lose some of that productivity. And I can't tell you how much, because at that point in time, I don't think I was tracking that. I might have, but I don't remember that at all. So I'd have to actually look at my notes on that. Oh dear God. Why did I do that? Let's see. Kingdom Living Homestead says, if I purchase Quail University, can I access it anytime forever? Yep, absolutely. Or is there a time limit on the information platform? Nope, it is yours and yours forever. And you can just log in whenever you want. Pretty easy and simple, and it's all in one spot, which is also nice. So like, you can go to the YouTube channel and you can type into the YouTube search bar Feed by Myshire Farm, or Brooders by Myshire Farm, or I don't know, Butchering by Myshire Farm, whatever, throughout your entire process, and you can probably find something. The nice thing about Quail University is it's all in one spot, and it's categorized on the left-hand side in topics and chapters. So it's like, oh, yep, I know exactly where I need to go. I'm not searching around. It's all in one spot. It's very convenient. And to me, that alone's worth the $49. But then you get the spreadsheets for quail math and all that, and the webinars and different stuff. It's personally, it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Mojo said, what was your job you quit? I was a restaurant, my last job title was a restaurant multi-store manager. I ran three restaurants, is what I did, at the same time. One was in Coleraine, which is real close to Kentucky. One was in Dayton, which was 15 minutes from my house, which was my original store, and then they kept giving more stores. And then the other one was Sharonville, which is, so like, here's my house, this is where I worked, and then they took me from here and said, can you run 2 stores? And I said, sure. And then the other one was like way out here. And so it was just so I did that for about a year, and then said, I quit. I done. I do this full time now. Grant says, just got my jumbo white wing eggs the other day. Unfortunately, 5 arrived broken, but I have high hopes for the other 27. Not bad. That is why we send some extras, because you never can trust the post office. So those are what those other extras are for. But good luck, and I wish you all the best, and keep me posted on the hatch. Kurt says, do jumbos actually lay larger eggs? I have a quail egg insert, and the larger eggs are actually inconvenient because they don't fit well. Yeah, I mean, usually it will coexist. So usually the larger the egg means the larger the quail, but not always. But yeah, your jumbos are going to lay larger eggs for the most part. You know, they just have a bigger mass, a bigger body. You know, they'll lay larger eggs a very large majority of the time. To get them to fit into cartons, that is another great reason why I think if you're selling eating eggs, it should be standards, because that whole mess. And so, yeah, I mean, again, what I was explaining earlier about the selling and the eating eggs, and if you're selling live quail, and if you're selling breeders, and if you're selling chicks, you want different things, because that's what majority of people want. There's a lot of other reasons for that, and that's a very good point, Kurt, is, again, if you're going with the standards, you don't have to worry about the inconvenience of them fitting in the cartons and things like that. And we're in the incubators. Yeah, like you just said. I lost my spot. Oh, Kingdom Living Homestead says, if you do come to BC, you can stay at our homestead. Well, thank you very much. Our partner farm is in Ottawa, so no, it's not in Ottawa. I don't know why I said that. Ontario. It's in Ontario. Dwayne Hansford says, hello, I hope you all have a great night. Dwayne Farms, I have 12 eggs on lockdown. Well, good luck. Wish you all the best, and keep us posted on the hatch. Good luck. John Alexander says, hi, Zach. From Katy, Texas, a lot of hard work. Absolutely. Good luck. I wish you the best as well. Kurt says, I have a Lumia 16, so I can't take the rail out. Really? I didn't know you couldn't do that. Wes is in the house at my honeydew farm. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Laura Wallace says, thank you, Zach. I was thinking of breeding my jumbos to my standards to get different colors. Will not do that now. Thanks for saving me so much time. Well, I didn't mean to discourage you. It's just those are the things you have to weigh and decide what is important to you. You know what I mean? I'm not saying one is the right way. I'm just saying those are the things you got to think about. But I'm glad that I got you the information. Casey says, when wanting to incubate my own eggs, is there any tips I should know from the point of being laid to going into the incubation? For example, do they need to sit for a period of time? Not really. Don't overthink it. Room temperature room, just put them together. You can put them in the flats or the trays. Whatever you're putting them in the incubator, just put them in those, let them sit. And then when you're ready to put them in, put them in. Room temperature is best, but again, don't overthink it. It won't. As long as they're not freezing or it's above 100 degrees, you're fine. You'll be just fine. Thomas is in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. 106 likes. Let's show our love and give a like for this wonderful man working so hard for us weekly. Thanks, Zach. Well, thank you very much. We're up to 109, so really we only need 11 more likes to hit the goal. So if you can, hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate it, and it supports the channel. Petamal Farm says, how many genetic lines are in the Celadons? I don't know, like off the top of my head, 10. Somewhere around there. I wouldn't have an exact number until I went down there and looked at everything, but a range, 8 to 12 different genetics are in there. Kurt says, QuailCon 2024 discussions happening yet? Yes, it is planned. A lot of stuff is already done. Our goal this week is to get it on the website. Once we get it on the website, I will start doing videos on it. And we will be bringing out more and more information as time goes on. But we've got speakers and dates and times and prices and workshops and topics. And we got very large majority of it done. It's just got to get on the website. Wes says, your video on incubator hatching trays for the GQF 1502. And you ordered some blue ones but could only single stack. I have solved the issue where you can double stack the blue egg trays in the GQF. There you go. We're actually using the, I don't know if I had them then, I think I did, but there is a, what they call it on eBay. It's a pigeon, quail, and dove egg tray, I guess. Anyways, it fits a whole lot more than the pheasant trays. I think it holds 112 or something like that. You can actually triple stack those. So that's pretty exciting. So we're doing that now. Thomas says, it's Sunday already. I know. Time goes so fast when all you do is work. Vase Place says, Myshire Farm, I had a jumbo wild hen that laid eggs close to the size of a silkie. That sounds painful. Someone Terry says, someone could make a lot of money making jumbo-sized cartons that actually fit jumbo-sized eggs. I don't have any issues with our cartons. In fact, I just dropped a blue off on Friday. Was Friday the 29th? Whatever the 29th was. I don't remember what the 29th, and maybe it was Thursday. Anyways, on the 29th, just a couple days ago, I took 3 blutes out, and it was a mixture of jumbos and standards in the blutes because I forgot to mark what was what, and so I just candled we had 2 full GQFs, and George was gone this week, and I collected them, and then he put them in the GQF, but I don't know which trays were which we're hatching them out anyway, so I just used them, and I put jumbos and standards all together because that's just what they were. Like we usually do standards on the bottom and then jumbos on top of those because they're so much bigger. And so I was in a hurry and I was by myself, so I just used jumbos and standards that time, and I didn't have any issues with the cartons snapping and closing. Wes says jumbo quail eggs will fit in quail trays from Northwest Quail Company in Washington. There you go. Sundial Fragrance says, hey Zach, and all from Houston, Texas. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Wes says, are the jumbo white wings comparable to the Egyptians in size and egg size? No, they would be comparable to jumbo wilds. The jumbo white wings actually lay larger egg sizes than the jumbo wilds, and they're about the same weight as jumbo wilds. The jumbo Egyptians are about an ounce smaller and maybe 2 grams smaller in eggs, so not a ton, but they'll produce more for you. Yeah. Mojo says, if we miss the webinar as Quail University students, will we be able to see it after? Great question. I don't know. Haven't discussed that yet. It's a good question, and I would assume that Linda will have already had plans on that, but I do not know. But it is a good question. That will be coming up. I'll make sure we talk about that next time we talk. Jennifer Fella says, I just hatched 50 of my own birds' eggs, 90% hatch. Awesome. Congratulations. That's very exciting. Sundial Fragrance says, Zach, what is the standard breed you have now that is the largest and is laying the largest eggs? What is the standard size? So the largest standard would be Egyptian fees. Largest standard would be Egyptian fees. Yes, that is an accurate statement. As far as egg size go, probably the sparklies. Of course, they might be. It's a good question, and the largest eggs and largest bird in the standard category would either be Egyptian fees or the sparkly pansies. They're both very, very close together, so it's hard to say. We are only 2 likes away from hitting our goal, so hit the like button, support the channel. Let's get to that 120 mark that we wanted. Laura says, you're fine, Zach. You just saved me time and money in cage space. I love the white wings and my white, and I'll keep the standard rare color separate. You're such great help. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I'm glad I could. That is why we do these lives. Talking Media's in the house says, I was on the website today. Awesome. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and welcome here, and good luck on your quail adventure. David Cobb says, on average, at what age do jumbos start to lay? That has a lot to do with your setup and your feed, your environment and your feed. But like, for example, it can be anywhere from, I say 6 to 8 weeks. Our jumbos start to lay at about 5.5 to 6 weeks, but we raise a whole lot of quail at all times, so we kind of have our environment down pretty well. We've got our system down. So it has a lot to do with environment and has a lot to do with what you're feeding them. So, 6 to 8 weeks. But ours are, once you get your system down, it'll be pretty consistent as far as when they start doing it. Ritka Ace is in the house. Some of the eggs get stuck in the plastic cartons. I know that's odd because cartons mean paper product, right? I guess I've never tried to take them out. I just put them in. So maybe they get stuck in there. That would maybe that's what people were talking about. I was always thinking they were talking about snapping them in, and I just don't have problems with that. I don't know how to tell people to do it because I don't know what the problem is. But maybe it's getting them out. That could be it. Thomas says most of the egg cartons will hold some jumbo eggs as long as you're putting the biggest ones in the middle. That makes the 18 to 24 count egg cartons easier to use. Agreed. That's what we use. We use the 24 count and the 30 count. Love the 30 count. Love the 30 count. Pettimall Farm says, thanks, Zach. Appreciate the time and community. Good night. Welcome, or thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, and we're glad you're part of the community. Kingdom Living Homestead says, I am converting my 45-foot coach bus into a quail enclosure hatchery. Interesting. With 3 rows stacked on each side of the bus, it gives me about 800 square feet. How many standard quail can I fit in the space? For 800 square feet? 2,400 quail. It's 3 quail per square foot. So 8 times 3 is 24. Then you add the 2 zeros. So 2,400 quail. Precious Bunny Buns is in the house. Hey, Zach, thanks for your help. Not a problem. Glad you're here. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Lupe from SoCal. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. So and Terrace says, Myshire Farm, Linda has replays for hatching at home monthly updates. I'm assuming it could be done with Quail U. It could be done. I don't know if we will. So that's just something we'll have to discuss and see how we want to do it. Sundial Fragrance says, I have noticed you don't have any white quail eggs for sale. Is there a problem with them? No, I just don't have enough of them. I didn't want to go on a massive wait, and I kind of wanted to work on them. I think I can get them much bigger. I think I can get them to lay quite a bit more if I take my time doing it. And so instead of trying to sell them and also work on them and being on such a long wait, I just said, you know what, we've got plenty of other options. Take them off and let's start working on those. So they'll be back. It's just all the eggs are mine right now. Dragon Girl says, David Cobb, my jumbo wild started laying here around 6 weeks of age. There you go. And that's great. Kingdom Living Homestead says, are there any regulations shipping to Canada? Are they going to be hold my order at customs? No, we actually are having a partner farm that we've worked with for quite a while now that's in Canada. So they have our stuff. They have the breeding programs. We're talking to them multiple times a week, doing Zoom calls. We actually have a meeting with them tomorrow. They've been raising them. We've went up there and checked everything out. So the eggs are actually in Canada, shipping in Canada. So it's kind of like a sister farm. So don't have to worry about customs or anything like that. So when Tara says the eggs get crushed if you stack the cartons. See, I put 300, so what, 4, 8, 12. I put 12 in a USPS box and they're stacked. And I've never had one break. Like I've never had the issue. Just never had an issue with them in the cartons. Sean Baldwin says, what is the most productive standard breed for eating eggs? The most productive? Well, the most productive for egg laying would be Scarlets. There's a couple that are really close. Scarlets, BTAs. Those are probably the 2 absolute best. But like the Rosetta Tibetans, the Graufies, the Golds, they're very, very close, like a couple of eggs off. But like the best of the best for egg laying is Scarlets and BTAs by a long shot. Anime Gamer says, gotta go by. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it. I lost my spot. Oh, there it is. Map 1962 says, 1962 says, can you keep 2 males in the same cage? Yeah. So we do colony breeding here. So we have, we'll say like 50 hens and 15 males in a cage. So as long as it's 3 quail per square foot and somewhere around 4 to 5 hens per 1 male, then you can have as many as you want in there. Wouldn't be a problem at all. Jay says, which province is the Canadian sister farm located in? Just out of curiosity. Ontario. Ontario is where they are. Glenn Wells says, we just started a new ham radio club and are going to set up a meet and greet to introduce ourselves to the community. I volunteered some quail for the grill. That should get some attention. Absolutely. Good thinking. That should get some attention for sure. Wes says, thanks for the Blute video. It's amazing the market for them running 2 GQF incubators and still not enough room. And is there a video from Pop the Builder on your gigantic incubator build? I think he did one on the lockdown that is pretty much the same thing. But no, I don't think we did one on the big incubator. If I did, I've already taken it down. Tim W says, can eggs be placed in the incubator even after being in the fridge for a few days? It's definitely not recommended. I mean, you might still get a couple to hatch, but it's not a good idea to put them in the fridge. Beam Farms in the house, glad you're back, been missing out. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. We did hit our goal of over 120 likes, so thank you everybody for the support. I really appreciate that. Oops. Sundial Fragrance says, what do you think of the growl feed production weight, etc.? I love the growl feed. I think the growl feed is one of those where it's like, it's not very photogenic, but like if you get some growl feeds, you're like, oh my God, that is an amazing color. And they lay really, really well. So like, you know, they're a standard color, but they carry the feed gene. So that's one really big plus. They are really, really dark. A lot of people that are selling blacks are actually growl feeds. So I feel like that's a little misleading, but whatever. And so that's 2 things for them. And then like as far as production goes, like in the standards, you've got, you know, Scarlets and BTAs that are laying like 340 eggs a year. Like they're just phenomenal. But then like growl fees and EBs, Rosettas and Tibetans, like they're like 332 eggs a year. Like they're right there. And then like standard weight. So they're not like jumbo, but they're like averaging 9.8 ounces. So they're almost there. So it's like all these different categories where it's like something is technically better than them. But man, as far as the top goes, like they're in the top of every category. I love them. I think they're awesome. And again, photo, you take it and it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of pretty. But like you actually have one like up close and personal. You're like, that is a beautiful color. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know why they're not as popular as they should be. They should be a lot more popular. MEP 1962 says, I have some young quail and I decided to separate my old mean male from concern he may kill my juveniles. If it's an older male, he'll kill them for sure. Yep. He'll be way too rough. Kingston Living Homestead says, hey Zach, who's your sister farm? Are they here or Facebook? They were here earlier. I don't know if they're here anymore. But I can't remember the name of their ranch right now. Not Family Mini Ranch. That's what it is. I do remember. B&M says, fantastic, happy to be here. For my first live with y'all, I got a small clutch of 12 assorted standard quail and a Wynola Ranch 6-tier cage. It's so easy to use and clean. Thank you. That's awesome. Congratulations. Good luck on your quail journey. And I wish you all the best. And yes, Wynola Ranch is absolutely fantastic. I love them. But good luck. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And welcome to the community. We're glad you're here. Sundial Fragrance Review says, I had some growl fees from you and liked them. Yeah, I do too. I wish they got better than... I wish they we're more popular. They deserve it. So and Tara says they definitely look different looking in person. I know. Not talking to me. So and Tara says not feather sexable. That could be why. Yeah, but there's other ones that are. I mean, there's other ones that are not feather sexable that do better and are more popular. And I personally like the Graufies. But to each their own. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are all the questions for tonight. So a little bit short. It's only an hour and 25 minutes tonight. We've been going like 2 hours, so it's not too bad. A lot of great questions. I think I did go a little bit faster tonight. So I'm getting back into the groove of things, trying to keep up with things. So, and everybody that supported the channel by hitting the like button, I really appreciate you. All the questions tonight are fantastic, because if you had the question, most likely someone else did too that just didn't feel comfortable with asking. So I think that you that are asking the questions, we're trying to help you on your journey, but you alone might be helping someone else that's not asking that question or didn't know they wanted the answer to that question until it was asked. So great community feel, great community. I'm glad that you were all here and participating. I really appreciate that. And hopefully I'll be able to do a video this week on QuailCon. It was me and Jen and I. It was Jen and I's. Me and Jenna's. It was. How do you say that in proper grammar? Proper English. It was. Yeah. Me and Jenna's. That's actually how you would say it. It was me and Jenna's 15th year anniversary on Friday. So the blue was Thursday, by the way. Not that anybody cared anymore. But so anyways, I was exhausted. She was exhausted. And so we didn't do crap. I mean, we worked. I'm not saying we didn't do anything. We worked a lot. But we didn't do anything for it. So this coming up weekend, I've got some things planned. George will be back and I can be gone from the quail barn for more than 2 hours at a time, which will be nice. And you know, someone's watching the kids. So I don't know how this week is going to go as far as videos go. I don't exactly know when George will be back. If George comes back tomorrow, then I'll probably be able to for sure get some done. But if he doesn't come back until Wednesday or Thursday, it might be kind of quiet for me this week. Because celebrating our anniversary is, well, that's more of a priority than getting a YouTube video done. But if I can do both, I will. I definitely want to do the 18 and under contest as soon as that equipment comes in so I can do that video. And I really got a couple really good videos that I think could help people on their adventure with quail. So if you missed our last video I just posted the other day, which is resources for quail knowledge, I really recommend you check that out. I really do think that could be a really great video for you, especially if you're starting out or wanting to learn more about it. And make sure you check that out. And I will do my very best to post some videos this week to help everybody on their adventure with Coturnix quail. And I wish you all the best. So make sure you check out our website, myshirefarm.com. We got a lot of stuff going on there. Hopefully by the end of the week we'll have QuailCon tickets available. And I'll be able to brag about that because it's going to be earlier than we've ever done before. So we're getting there, and we'll see how it goes. So I wish everybody have a great week, and thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel, and thanks for being part of the community. And until next time, everybody, stay safe. Happy hatching, everybody.